Welcome to Strider Trees. Today I want to show you guys a tree access trick that I use when I don't have my spurs, I don't have my ascenders, or I'm just too lazy to get them out. Maybe I've got a relatively short ascent and I just want to get up and get down, get it dirty, and get it done. So it's called the lanyard crawl, and I hope you find this valuable. Yeah, boy! So the first step is to set a top tie. It doesn't need to be super high because you're going to get up to it and advance it ahead of you once you're up there. But it needs to be ideally over at least the second union because it's hard to reset your top tie if you're hanging underneath the first union. So I got it up there in the second one. We'll use that. So the lanyard crawl can be done either on a stationary rope system or on a moving rope system. And I'll demonstrate it both ways here, but the technique is essentially the same both ways. So I just got my rope up and over. I'm gonna tie a quick canopy anchor so I can show it as a single line. It's a great way to do a little spikeless climbing even if you don't have your ascenders. Obviously you need a single line capable device. I'm using the megawatt here. So critical to getting this technique right is the lanyard length. You need enough slack to have some distance between you and the tree to be able to pull up and then flick some loose rope to advance your line. But if there's too much distance, then what happens is your feet will be pushing off the tree and you won't be able to gain much height, and it'll just feel super awkward. So too little and it'll be really hard to advance your line. Too much and you'll feel super awkward and you won't be able to walk up the tree. You need kind of the in-between balance, which for me is going to be somewhere about like this, and then that'll change as I move up and down. So this is how this thing works. I'll position myself on the back side of the lean like so, take all the slack out of my system and sit in it. And then I'm gonna pull forward and flick my lanyard up the tree as much as I can. And then I'm actually pushing back against my lanyard. Most of the pressure on me is here in the back of my harness, like in the back strap, and I'm just walking up the tree with my legs. You'll notice I'm not even using my hands for this. But once I get a little bit of altitude, I'm gonna take the slack out, and now I can sit and I've gained a few feet. I can do that again. Notice the trunk got wider, so I'm actually gonna let my lanyard out a little bit more so I can maintain this ideal angle between my legs and my lanyard. And I'm pushing back against the tree, back into my harness and gaining altitude. A little bit of a bump, take that slack out as I go. This system works really well for mechanical hitches and descenders where you don't have any sit back. If you've got a lot of sit back, you're gonna struggle with this. It won't be as efficient. With descenders and mechanical devices that don't have sit back, this is a really easy way to get up a tree. Go up, walk up the tree, take all the slack out, and up we go. Now here somewhere, as I approach my angle or my rope, here's where I throw my lanyard through, look for a different place to advance my rope, maybe swing around the backside, try something different. But I just made that 15-foot ascent every bit as fast as I could with spikes or with the foot ascenders. I actually really like this carabiner. This one by DMM that has this lock because it stays oriented properly on my bridge and it doesn't rotate around either direction. And then it's got this little shoulder right here that pretty much keeps my devices from going around and side loading. So it makes for a really secure connection for my primary climb system, and I like it a lot. So like I said, you can do this as a moving rope or as a stationary rope system. I'll show you here now that I've got it set up as a moving rope. And I'm even gonna do it where my line isn't pulling me directly straight up. It's pulling me a little bit off to the side. So I'm actually gonna position myself slightly differently so that my anchor is pulling me into the tree while I'm working on this. So here we go. Instead of tending the slack 1-to-1, I'm now tending the slack 2-to-1. So I've actually got a little bit of mechanical advantage with my top tie, but I'm still using my legs for most of the lifting. It looks like I'm pulling down, but I'm not doing much with my hand at all, really. Caught my rope in there. Things interfering with your flip line makes this trick harder, but it's still pretty dang easy. So here I'm a little bit too close, so I'm gonna let my lanyard out. Just a little bit. There we go, that's better. Swing in, advance the lanyard, walk up the trunk. Swing in, advance the lanyard, walk up the trunk. Now I'd be aiming for that little union right there. So I'll probably swing in, grab it with my toes or something, throw my lanyard through. And now I'm secure. Again, most of the lift is coming from my legs. So there you go, you can figure that out, and then you can lanyard crawl. It's a great way to get up. Don't have any ascenders, don't have any spikes. I could work this whole tree without too much trouble. Thanks for joining me at Strider Trees. Catch you guys next time.